Today we're going to be talking about one of the biggest controversies in the Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 PvP scene. But before we get in all that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Now also hit that notification bell so that you get all the updates for the greatest Dragon Ball, anime, and gaming channel on YouTube. The name is perfection. So that controversy that I'm going to be talking about is male Earthlings, aka BoJack race characters. Male Earthlings are the most complained about race of characters in this game to date for practically no reason at all when you really examine the facts. So, some of the famous arguments are, boo-hoo, the Unvanishables, the Unvanishables are so scary, they have the easiest combos. Those are the most ignorant arguments that I have ever heard, but they are very common in this community. So let's examine the facts. Male Earthlings lead in no stat category. If you really go back and you look up the data, they don't have the highest basic attack. Their racial passive really doesn't work, and the racial passive that they have is that their ki is supposed to charge, and it doesn't charge at all. Like every other race can have access to that ability as long as they step vanish around the map, which I feel like should be taken away, because that makes what the male Earthlings have less unique. They don't have the ability to charge ki. If you really just sat there and paid attention and used up all your ki, pay attention to how long it takes to charge 1 bar of ki off of their passive ability. It will take you 30 seconds. I've sat down and timed it before. It takes 30 seconds to get 1 bar of ki. No. That needs to be buffed. That needs to be insanely buffed, because the second passive that they're supposed to have is that once they get the max ki, they're supposed to get a basic attack increase. They never get it because they can never get the max ki because their passive doesn't work. Everyone else can have access to their passive as long as they're step vanishing, but the male Earthlings themselves do not have access to their passive unless they're step vanishing. That is ridiculous, and I think I want to send that part in to Dimps. They really need to fix that. It's something that I guess they haven't noticed because they haven't tested for it or something, but that needs to be addressed, and it needs to be addressed in DLC Pack 5. But back to what I was saying. The Earthling race leads, the male Earthling race leads in no stat category. What that means is highest ki blast stat belongs to Frieza race, and then right not far behind you have female Earthling and female Saiyan. They don't lead in basic attack. I think Frieza race characters have a pretty decent basic attack, but the leading character in that category are male Saiyans. They have the highest basic attack. Highest strike super damage? Guess who that belongs to? Female Majins. Highest health? Namekians. And then followed by male Majins. And I think that at the third you might have male Earthlings. And earlier I was talking about Frieza race characters who are arguably better versions of male Earthlings. And it was surprising to me because I found out that Frieza race characters have pretty good basic attack. I thought that their main claim to fame was an absurdly high ki blast stat. They have the best ki blast stat in the game. That's before Turn Golden. Now imagine that 30% increase on Turn Golden. They're monsters. So then you look at their basic attack stat, that's good too. All they lack in is health, so they're basically a better version of male Earthlings. On top of all that, when they turn golden, again, they get that 30% increase, and then they get that charged death beam, which functions as an extra super attack. And on top of that, again, I have to stress it, they get a 30% increase on all their ki blasts. All their ki blast supers, a 30% increase. That's sizable. That's what I think Potential Unleash should be doing to all stats, because you get that meager 15% increase on all your stats. That's nothing, especially compared to the side of Turn Golden. That's practically nothing at all. So people who are trying to address male Earthlings you really need to step off. So my point being is that male Earthlings are not overpowered or broken. They lead in no stat. If anything, they're probably the weakest race in this game. They just have decent health and fairly beginner friendly combos. I don't even say beginner friendly because you do have to know the animations just as you would with any other character. It's just that their combos are pretty streamlined, and you can say that about any character in this game. Their combos work online. Thank God their combos work online. That's another complaint that I've heard. Well, the male Earthlings are too easy because their combos work online. What? What kind of argument is that? Every race of characters combos should work online, so you shouldn't be begging anyone to nerf their ability to connect combos online. How stupid do you sound? Like, I've heard some YouTubers say that. It's ridiculous. But my point being is that male Earthlings are basically the jack of all trades. They're a master of no stats in this game, but they have pretty decent, mediocre stats in all regards. So they can pretty much run any build that you want them to run. Look at the facts, because people will bring up the unvanishables. Boo-hoo, the unvanishables, the unvanishables. Do you not know that every character in this game has unvanishables? Literally every character in this game. Unvanishables are there for a reason. In this game, you have people who like to be stamina hogs. They will not use up stamina if they feel like they're in a health lead. Like, if they're in a health lead, they will eat combos, and once you look like you're about to get that little lead, then they start vanishing, and then they start abusing step vanish. So unvanishables are there to make them get up off of their stamina. So normally with every character you have the triangle circle, which is the little kick, and then you can wrap around, you can hit triangle, and depending upon what your opponent does afterwards, either they have to eat the stamina break that's coming after them, or they have to vanish. It makes the opponent make a decision. Either I have to get up off my stamina and spin 2 bars, or I can eat the stamina break and get all my stamina back later on, depending upon how much health you have. That's your choice. If you don't want to make those choices, then you get punished. That's what a punish is in Xenoverse, unvanishable. So, like I said, every race has this. Male Saiyans have the best unvanishables in the game because they can just use the teleports in their combos and then hold triangle and then get their unvanishable. Male Earthlings, their unvanishable has a very telltale sign, so everyone can vanish that if they want to. If you want to get stuck with the unvanishable combo or the unvanishable stamina break, that's your choice. If you want to eat the combo, eat the combo. If you want to vanish it, vanish it, but you're gonna have to make a decision. Then you look at female Saiyans who can just transform into Super Saiyan and abuse their high ki blast stat. You look at female Earthlings, they're a worse variation of female Saiyans because they don't have that, you know, chargeable ki blast vanish, but they have a high ki blast stat, so they can just sit around and spam God of Destruction's Wrath. Yeah, I think that's the move that I've seen most of them try to use, but you can perfect block it. But my point being is that there's nothing wrong with male Earthlings. If you think so, you have problems and you're not good at the game. People who make that argument are people who use Hit, Super Saiyan Blue Goku, Gogeta, and Vegito, any form of Vegito, either base form or Super Saiyan Blue, because male Earthlings happen to be the kryptonite to those characters. You can't just step in with Hit and play a male Earthling any way that you choose, because a male Earthling will force you to get up off that stamina. That's all it is to it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the discussion. I really had to address this issue because I've seen several YouTubers who have a sizable following spreading their BS, and that's literally all it is. BS. There is nothing wrong with male Earthlings. If you think so, you don't have skill. If you use Super Saiyan Blue Goku and you find a problem with male Earthlings, chances are a male Earthling served you up something fierce of an ass whooping and you're just salty. That's all it is to it. Hit, same deal. Gogeta, same deal. And that's all you see online. So I've been your host, your perfect being, TheSuperitachi. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think that a complaint is warranted for male Earthlings? Do you think that unvanishables are broken even though every character has access to this mechanic? Do you side with the argument that, well, male Earthlings are terrifying because... Again, I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Of course, I've been your perfect being and your host, and the greatest anime, gaming, and Dragon Ball channel on YouTube. The name is Perfection.